everyone, Paul Wintergurst. Welcome to the April 2019 Classic Challenge. My favorite time of year. Some people's favorite time of the year is Christmas, some kind of holiday, their birthday. My favorite time of year is challenge time. Why? Because you get to focus on your health, your body, and your confidence for 28 days uninterrupted. Most people do that once a year in January. We do it 4 times per year here at Fatburn, and I love every challenge that we do, and I love the results that we get, and I love the accountability and motivation that we hold each other to throughout this process. So, what I'm going to be doing for you today in the next 20 to 30 minutes is taking you through the orientation and the rules for this challenge. We've done some variations off this in the previous 2 challenges, and now we're returning to the baseline of what works and we've been using for 7+ years. So going through your PDF, you can either do it online with me, or you can print it out and follow along and take your notes. So let's begin. You can read my little note here on why I like the challenges and what the focus is. This challenge, it's simplicity. And I say here at Fatburn, we have 3 different ways to achieve what we call a PM, which is a Fatburn meal. We can cook it for you. You can order meals at fatburn.com, very appropriately priced. You can follow a Fatburn recipe. There's 10 already waiting for you, and there's 10 that are going to be released every week during this challenge for a total of 40 recipes. Or you can build your own by understanding what our meal plan is. So, the premise of everything during the challenge is to work out anywhere from 3 to 5 times per week, and then in addition to that, see what your body is capable of achieving by eating as many Fatburn approved meals as you can. Now, if you're doing the Fatburn baseline, you would be eating 4 times per day, unless your goal is muscle building, which is 28 meals per week. If you're doing that, you would want to eat 27 PMs per week, with 1 NPM or cheat meal per week. These are the 3 ways you can do that. The goal of your orientation is to game plan this weekend before Saturday at noon how, not what, but how you are going to achieve 4 PMs per day through either, again, ordering it from us, the easiest way, cooking a recipe, or building your own meal through the level sheets that I'm going to explain. So let's go ahead and dive in to what all this means after the checklist. So I have it laid out here for you organized people so you know you're doing things in the right order. Friday and Saturday, which is either, you're looking at this on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, hopefully. All you want to do is ingest the information, and you want to find out where everything is living between Facebook and a shared folder that we have, and then order your food by noon on Saturday. If you do that, you're ahead of the game, okay? So all the challenge materials are going to be right here at this link. This is going to take you to something that we called Work Drive. So this is opening up another browser for us. And here you're going to see a folder with some level sheets. You're going to see your week 1 recipes. There's the 10 right there. You're going to see a copy of this pamphlet, and you're going to see the April calendar, which I'm going to explain to you in a little bit. In addition to that, we can minimize this right now. I'll be adding more things throughout the challenge into that folder, and I'll refer to that, like your teams will be added there, stuff like that, okay? In addition to that, we have our Facebook group. There's nothing posted in it yet, but you'll recognize Andrew on the top so that you know you're in the right one, because we have a bunch of different Facebook groups, and we have our normal Fatburn group, which we use for the other times of the year. But we're also going to start posting our homework in here, which I'm going to get to, which are bonus points. And we're also going to be posting updates in here, the orientation videos, things like that will be housed here. And there'll be an announcement section in here, which is how Facebook kind of organizes what's important. All right, so you have those 2 links. Where am I here? By Saturday, get your food orders placed by noon. I'm going to go through how to do that in this video in a little bit. Our normal pickup times are Mondays and Thursdays. Our cutoff times, which some people confuse as the days you have to order meals, are Tuesdays and Fridays at 10 a.m. That does not mean you have to order food on Tuesdays and Fridays. You can order food 7 days per week. we process our food orders Tuesdays and Fridays at 10 a.m. so that they can then be cooked and picked up on Mondays and Thursdays. For the beginning of the challenge, week 1, which you are in right now, we are extending the Friday 10 a.m. deadline to Saturday at noon so that you guys who are watching this Friday night or Saturday morning still have time to place your orders Saturday by noon and pick it up anytime on Monday or get it delivered to your house. Okay? But then after week 1, it reverts back to the normal Tuesday and Friday rhythm with the Monday and Thursday pickup. Cool. If you're not ordering fat burn meals, you're going to have to do some meal prepping this weekend, or at least game plan how you're going to be getting your PMs if you're not getting them from us. So that's where you're going to want to look through the recipes. That's where you're going to want to look through your level sheets, and you're going to want to really understand how you're going to go into Monday prepared with your 4 meals for that day, or hopefully really for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday with your 12 meals that you don't have to think about because you've already done the work on Sunday. Monday, you're going to get your starting body counts. For you challenge veterans, we used to do body counts on Fridays. We're now doing them on Monday, so everybody can start the same day. For you challenge winners, or for everybody who got an extra email saying that we want you to double weigh in, that is just something we're doing a little as of last challenge to make sure there's some fairness measures involved, just with, the ability to manipulate some things on the body composition. So if you were asked to double weigh in, it's either because you won the previous challenge or we took a random sample of our challengers and we chose you to double weigh in. As long as you're within a normal range of weight loss, fat loss, and muscle gain within those 2 days, your best body comp will be used. But if you know you've lost 12 pounds between Monday and Wednesday, we know something's off, and then we're going to have a conversation. So that is my note on the double weigh-ins, okay? Here's another link where you can find your teams. Now, this is still a living document which is being updated, but you can look at this and find out who is on your team. And then once you find out who is on your team, you can ask us for their email addresses so that you can reach out to them. Also be mindful that there are tabs on the bottom. A lot of people usually say, hey, my name's not on the list. You might just have to click one of the tabs on the bottom to shuffle between either studio. All right, so that's going to get you through Wednesday of next week. I'm going to send out different instructions with homework that you guys are going to start doing on Monday. And as always in these challenges, use the Facebook group to ask a ton of questions. The more questions you ask, the better. And the more questions you ask, I know you're actually doing it, because doing a lot of these things leads to questions. If you're not asking any questions and you're lost, you're going to start just getting behind. You don't have to get overwhelmed with this challenge, but you do have to ask questions in the beginning so that you're understanding things and following along, okay? So now, if you're a newbie, we have to determine what your level is. If you're a veteran, you already know probably what your level is, but I'm going to go through this again. You veterans can skip ahead because you don't have to double watch this if you've done a bunch of challenges like I am. First thing you need to do, if this is your first challenge, is you have to determine if your goal is weight loss, fat loss, or muscle gain. And you can go ahead and read this page for a detailed explanation of what those mean, because you're going to need to decide that for your for the next part. The bottom line is weight loss just means you're kind of putting a lot of importance on the number on the scale and you really want to see it go down. That's weight loss. If the number on the scale is not too important to you, but you want to lose body fat percentage, a more efficient way of weight loss, then fat loss is for you. It's kind of like a more, not toning, but it's more efficient to lose fat and gain some water and gain some muscle if possible than to just lose water, lose muscle, and lose fat, which happens sometimes on a calorie deficient diet like weight loss. So I always push people towards fat loss, but you may not see the number on the scale move the way you want to. You'll see the body fat move the way you want to, but you can make that determination by reading this more. And muscle gain is self-explanatory. You're not concerned with weight loss at all. You're at a good body fat percentage, and you want to see your skeletal muscle mass on that in-body reading go up. Okay, so once you know that, you're going to determine what we call levels here at Fat Burn, and levels are just different portion sizes between 2 and 6, which determines how big the meal that you're going to get. For instance, if you're ordering a level 2 meatloaf from Fat Burn, you're getting 3 ounces of meat with probably a cup of vegetables and maybe a third a cup of a carb. But if you're ordering a level 6, that goes up to 5.5 ounces of protein instead of 3. 2 cups of vegetables, a cup and a half of starchy carbs, so the meals just build up in size, quantity. So let's go through an example. If I am, well, let's not go through an example. Let's go through me. I am a male, okay? So I'm using the bottom chart. I weigh 168 pounds. So I am under the 210-pound threshold, which means if I was going for weight loss, I would be a level 3. If I was going for fat loss, I would be a level 4. The baseline is to eat 4 times per day, spaced 4 hours apart. So if I wanted to drop body fat percentage, which is what I do most of these challenges for, I'm going to eat 4 level 4 meals 4 hours apart. So if my first meal is at 8 a.m., my last meal is going to be at 8 p.m. That's how that works out. Not usually, you're going to be eating your dinner at the same time you eat your breakfast if you're eating in a 12-hour window. I would eat at 8 a.m., I would eat at 12 noon, I would eat at 4 p.m., and then I would eat again at 8 p.m. If you know when your workouts are and you're working out at Fat Burn and you have those scheduled in, then you can go ahead and actually plan your breakfast accordingly to the time so that you're not eating right before your workout, and preferably you're scheduling it so that you're eating right after your workout, especially if it's a weight training workout. Okay? So that covers level 3 and that covers level 4. Anybody who can't eat 4 times, anybody who has a hard time about that, that's where you're going to start asking questions and we'll start adjusting and tweaking things for you. Remember, you're also going to be getting body comps every Friday. So I recommend that everybody does start with the baseline, and let's see how it affects you. More so, I really recommend that for the first 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of the challenge, you guys do everything by the book. Give your body at least 3 days to see what it's capable of. When I start doing the challenges, the first 3 days are often a little bit of a struggle, but by the fourth day, the feeling that I have of change and energy in my body is so profound that I love continuing through the process. So give yourself the first 3 days to find the opportunity of the capability that your body has when you're eating the exact way without any deviation, without any cheating. If you feel too hungry, if you feel like you're eating too much, let your body adjust over 12 meals and see how it feels. And then by Thursday, we can have a conversation. Lastly is muscle gain. So if my goal was muscle gain, I would still be eating a level 4, but it says it right here. Instead of eating 4 meals, I would be eating 5 meals at a level 4. Let's do an example as a female. If I'm a female and I'm 160 pounds and my goal is weight loss, then I'm eating 4 level 2 meals. Okay? Makes sense? If not, don't get stressed out. Ask us some questions. We will help you through it. Now, the 3 ways to ensure yourself a PM. I alluded to this in the beginning, and I want to stress it again. The whole purpose of Fat Burn is convenience. Okay? The more convenient something is, the longer you will do it. The longer you can sustain something, you will eventually hit your result. The reason the fitness industry and gyms have such a low success rate is because a lot of people give up because you don't have enough motivation yourself, you don't have enough accountability yourself. Things are really inconvenient. You have to go to the gym, you have to figure out what to eat, you have to meal prep it, which takes a lot of time. It's all a lot of figuring out and a lot of time. It's very inconvenient. We are giving you everything that you need at Fat Burn. Not to say that you still don't need to put some work in, but we're making it as easy as possible to get a structured workout that our head trainer creates, Andrew, every 2 weeks, to be told exactly what you have to eat by either your coach or this video and instruction pamphlet. And then if time is your issue, just use some of our meals to replace the ones you can't make on your own, or you just want to get them from us for convenience so that you are always prepared for these 28 days. You literally have everything here. Again, we'll talk to you and make it easy for you and even plan this out with you if you need that extra hand holding. So, number one, create it yourself with the level sheet. That is where I'm going to actually explain to you the premise of our meal plan, okay? I did a really condensed sheet for you right here. So if you're level 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, you can have some really condensed down guidelines of anywhere you are to kind of create your own fat burn meal. For instance, if I'm in a deli and I'm a level 4, which I am, I know I have to get 3.5 ounces of some kind of meat, and I can add to that, potatoes, pasta, oats, quinoa, rice, bread, whatever it may be. And I have to add a fat to that, whether that be mayo, olive oil, avocado, or some nuts. I have it all right here. The premise of every fat burn meal is it's a balanced meal between a protein, a carb, and a fat. This is just a very condensed version. What you really want to be looking at is in this link right here, which I showed you before. We've broken out these fat burn level sheets. Okay, so for me, I would go to level 4. And then I have my very own sheet telling me exactly what to eat. I suggest you print this out and you carry it around with you. I also suggest you screenshot it and make it the screensaver on your phone for the next 28 days. As long as I'm choosing a protein from this column, a carb from this column, and a fat from this column, then I am eating a fat burn approved meal. If I'm choosing more than one item from this column, so instead of eating 4 ounces of chicken, I want chicken and steak. So then I just have to do a little math. I'm going to have 2 ounces of chicken and 2 ounces of steak. The same goes for all the other columns. The more you eat from one column, you just have to divide them up. You're not eating as much as you want from each column. It all has to fit in the portion size. If you're going this route, you're going to have a food scale. You can pick one up from Target for $15 and some measuring cups. This is the most time-intensive way to get a fat burn meal. You're literally figuring out what to eat, you're cooking it, and you're measuring it out. So if that's what you want to do, you can. But it takes the most time, and it takes the most effort, and it takes the most understanding. As I go through the other options, it gets easier and easier. The last thing to note about carbs in the middle level, fruit and vegetables are also carbs. We treat vegetables as a freebie, meaning you can add vegetables to any meal. So I can add 1.5 cups of cooked vegetables, or I can add 2.5 cups of raw vegetables to any meal. When you cook them, they get cooked down, so that's why it's a different quantity. All these items are actually cooked. So this is 4 ounces of cooked chicken. This is 2/3 of a cup of cooked quinoa. It's not before it's cooked. It's all after post-cook weight. Back to the vegetables and back to the fruits. So if I'm doing 4 ounces of chicken and I'm adding 2/3 a cup of quinoa and I want that with an avocado, that's a fat burn approved meal. If I want to add a vegetable to that, like 1.5 cups of cooked spinach, I can. If I want to have 2.5 cups of raw spinach and make this all into a salad, put everything on top of a salad, I can. So that's a protein, a carb, a fat, and a vegetable. Now get this. The starchier carbs are on the top. You don't always have to eat a starchier carb like a quinoa, like beans, like potatoes, because vegetables are a carb. So if you want to just have your 4 ounces of chicken with your vegetable and your fat, that is also a fat burn approved meal. So let me say that again. You can have your fat burn, your carb, your fat, and a vegetable, or you can have a fat burn, vegetable, and your fat. Both are fat burn approved meals. If you're on a level 2, if you're on weight loss and you're feeling really hungry, the best thing to do is always add a vegetable to your meal. It bulks it up. It'll make you feel less hungry. Fruits are not the same as vegetables. If a fruit is in your meal, that is your carb. So if you're eating a banana or an apple, that counts as your carb. Okay? You can't add fruit to your meal like you're adding vegetable to your meal. They don't count the same way. Lastly, you have your approved beverages on the lower left, and you have your approved condiments on the lower right. Hot sauce is going to be your friend, not ketchup. Sriracha is fine as well. What makes something a non-Fat-Burn approved meal? So what makes something a non-Fat-Burn approved meal is, number one, it's not on this list. Number two, it's the wrong quantity. So I ate 7 ounces of chicken, not 4. Or number three, I added something to the meal, again, that's not on this list. So if I have 4 ounces of chicken, 2/3 cups of quinoa, and my avocado, but I have 3 glasses of red wine with that meal, it's a non-fat burn meal because of the 3 glasses of wine. And then I'm going to show you how to track all that. I'm going to end it here. I'm going to let you guys dive in for those of you who are choosing to use this and start asking questions. That's going to be the best way to really understand it because you kind of learn by doing. And again, those level sheets are found in this level sheet folder in the Work Drive shared folder. Back to the pamphlet. Use a Fat-Burn approved recipe for week 1. So if I'm clicking here, what's easier about a Fat-Burn approved recipe is the portion sizes are already done for you. So a lot of these recipes here are actually on our menu that you can purchase, but if I'm making this vegan chili, not only is it telling me the ingredients and how to make it, but down here it's telling me exactly how much of it to eat. So if I'm meal prepping this for week 1, I can, measure out 1 3/4 cups for my level 4, 5 of them from the entire week, and that's one meal that I have for the entire week. So you guys can go ahead and look through these recipes. A lot of you who have a spouse or a significant other or a girlfriend or boyfriend or even a roommate, share some of these recipes with them. The person that cooks for you, share these recipes with them because after they cook it, you'll know exactly how much you should portion out for yourself. A lot of these things aren't crazy healthy meals. They're family friendly. So if you're a mom or a dad who cooks for not only your spouse but your kids, make these meals, they'll have them, and you're just going to know exactly how much to eat for yourself to keep it within the Fat-Burn approved meal. Moving on to number 3, and the simplest way, is ordering food from Fat-Burn. So now that you know your level, you're going to click on the food when you get to our website. We change our menu every week. All you have to do is select the items that look good to you. So click into this breakfast almond berry blast. It tells you the ingredients down here below in case you have any allergies. And then you're going to select your level. So if you're a level 2, this meal is literally only $4, which is why I'm saying it's very cost efficient. Now it goes up slightly as you get more food. I'm a level 4, so this meal would cost me $6.60. But you can go ahead and choose what you like and what you don't like and add it to your cart. You're going to choose when you want to pick it up. For right now, for Monday, the beginning of the challenge, I'll choose to pick this up from White Plains. I'm going to add this to my bag. I'll continue shopping, and then I'll just start adding other things as they are here to my bag. Here's that vegan chili. We have 2 options, a vegan and a non-vegan. The non-vegan has shredded chicken added to it. But if I'm choosing the vegan option, again, I'm a level 4. Now this the rest of this is pre-populated for me. I add it to my bag. When I'm happy with all the meals I have, I'm just going to go to my shopping cart, and then I'm going to start, checking out here through the checkout process, just like any other shopping cart that operates on the web. Okay? So you can do this once a week. You can do this twice per week. Let me go back one more time to the menu to stress one thing when you're ordering our food. If I'm eating level 4 meals, to make this extreme, I can eat any meal that I want at any time of the day. Just because it's labeled breakfast, lunch, or dinner doesn't mean I have to have it at that time. For instance, the almond blueberry blast, if I wanted to eat that for dinner, as long as it's a level 4, I can do that. It doesn't have to be breakfast. If I wanted to eat the almond berry blast for my meal 1 for breakfast, and then have turkey meatloaf, and then eat the almond blueberry blast for my meal 3 again, I can do that because it's a level 4. If I wanted to eat the almond blueberry blast 28 days in a week, as long as it's a level 4, remember it's all macronutrient balanced, so technically every meal is balanced the same, I can do that. Snacking. If you're snacking, we just consider that a meal. So just because you're saying you're having a snack, there still has to be a protein, a carb, and a fat, and we're just going to call that your meal 1, 2, 3, or 4. So if you say you eat 3 times per day and you eat a snack, we just say you eat 3 meals per day and your meal 4 is your snack. That's just some of the verbiage that we talk about here at FatBurn. All right? So those are the 3 ways to get a FatBurn approved meal. Now, the last part about this is me showing you how to track all this so that you can have some power in after your challenge ends. All right, so let's get to that. Okay, how do you make sense of all this? You use something, a tool here, which we call tracking on a calendar. So I told you in the beginning that I think things that are not convenient don't get sustained, and what doesn't get sustained gets dropped, thus you get no result. Tracking with MyFitnessPal, with apps, writing down and logging every single thing you eat, I think, in my opinion, is too inconvenient to do over the long term. However, our method takes 30 seconds, is super simple. It requires you understand more about our meal plan, but so that it can save time by tracking because you don't have to write every single thing down. So there's a calendar. The calendar is in that work drive folder that I showed you. It's right here, the April calendar. This is always going to give you the important dates also and when the body comps are and when the challenge ends and that kind of stuff. But I would hang this up on your refrigerator and I'm going to show you why. There's 3 inputs that go into the calendar. Number 1 is what your result is. So anytime you get a body comp, right here we're only writing the weight down, but really what you should write down is your weight, your body fat percentage, and your skeletal muscle mass every time you have a body comp. That's input number 1. Input number 2, all you got to do is circle the days that you work out. If you are doing a fat burn workout, that obviously counts. If you're doing any type of activity that is actually a workout and is more than 20 minutes, you can count it on your calendar as a workout. So if you go running or bike riding for 20 minutes, count it. If you're walking around in the grocery store shopping for 30 minutes, that doesn't count as a workout. It actually has to be a workout. That's input number 2. Input number 3. You have to record how many fat burn meals versus non-fat burn meals you are eating on a daily basis. That's where you're going to see those PMs and NPMs on the bottom of each day. So all I do is at the end of each night when I get home, I write on my calendar a 3, a 1, a 4, a 0, whatever it may be according to what I ate that day. You can also do it the morning after for the day previous. I think those are the easiest ways to do it. Some people mark it as they go with little check marks, how many they're doing. Again, I don't think that's the most efficient way, but you can certainly do that as well. So after you have your fat burn and non-fat burn approved meals, you're going to pick 2 different colors because you're going to X out each day as you complete them. Any day that you have a 4 in the PM and a 0 in the NPM, you're going to put 1 color. And any day that you have at least 1 NPM in a day, you're going to use a second color. And what that's going to do, I'm going to come back to this, it's going to start giving you a really clear idea of what the days are that you're eating what we'll call approved all the time, and what days you have that kind of tend to be your problem areas, and that's going to help us coach you as well. All this is leading to something called figuring out your minimal effective dose, which is another conversation, but it's a powerful tool on how to figure out how to manipulate your body so you can see the numbers move on the body comp machine the way that you want to see them. Last part about this is anytime that you do have a non-fat burn approved meal, that is the time that I want you to turn your calendar over and I want you to write specifically what made it non-fat burn approved. So in my example before, when I said that you had 4 ounces of chicken with 2/3 a cup of quinoa, 2/3 of an avocado, and 3 glasses of wine, that's what would make my non-fat burn approved meal. And then on the back, I would write 3 glasses of wine because that was the thing that's not approved. So on the back, you're going to have a list of all the unapproved items that you eat throughout your week and your day, and that will also shed some light on what's going on if you're not getting the result you want. For all you constant snackers, this is going to really bring some awareness out on how many unapproved things you are eating during the day. If you're snacking 5 times and it's an unbalanced snack or a non-approved item, then you're going to have 6 or 7 NPMs in that day, and you're going to list them all on the back of exactly what they are. Okay? So that's your calendar, and that's how you track. I don't want to get too into the weeds here, but there is with the macronutrient breakdown grams of proteins, carbs, and fats that are associated with each level. I'll let you guys ask me that question and I'll answer that accordingly because it's too confusing probably for a first timer right now. But the point is, if you have a nutrition label of something that you want to eat, for example, a protein bar, if you take a picture of that nutrition label and you post that in the Facebook group right here, then I'll be able to tell you what level it is and kind of how much of it that you can eat. So those are some of the questions that you can ask as well. You can also tag me. So when you're writing a question here, if you do the @ symbol and then put Paul, you'll see my name pop up. You can tag me. This way I get notified of the question and I will answer it faster. I answer Facebook questions way faster than email, just so you guys know. I get too many emails for me to keep up with on a daily basis. So I respond to all of my emails, but sometimes it takes me 2, sometimes even 3 days, according to how many I'm getting. And during the challenge, I get a lot. If you want to email me something private, I'm fine with that. But if you want a fast response, I respond to Facebook very fast when it comes to challenge time. Okay, so let's end this session by saying here are your prizes. We listened to your guys' surveys and we did split out the prizes by gender this challenge. So there are men competing against men, women competing against women for the individual prizes. And then as always, there's a team prize, which is only one winner. So only one team wins between both studios. You get the Fat Burn trophy, you get your picture, you get the bragging rights, and you get a list of other cool things here, like a free month at Fat Burn. And then you guys also, if you're not feeling the whole team vibe, or you have a team that's not really pulling their weight, you can always compete individually yourself for one of these categories. So if you're a woman who's interested in weight loss, you're competing only against women in weight loss in your studio, and you still have the opportunity to win there or be a runner-up and still get prizes for that. All right. So like I said, stay in touch. Let your coach talk to you. I want to talk to you. Ask questions on the Facebook group. Ask questions of your team members. There's a lot of Fat Burn members who've done these challenges already and are also a pretty good resource for you to use. Here's our email addresses for you to email. And then this is just a cute little sheet I wanted to include so that you guys can start talking to your trainers about some of the things that they eat. I just asked our trainers for 3 of their go-to favorite meals, that they just that. They're their go-to meals. So you can kind of look through that and see what your trainers are eating, see some of the things I like to eat, and that'll give you some ideas on what to do if you're putting together your own meals. So I'm going to end this here. I'm going to say good luck to you all. This is a great, fun experience. Keep it fun. Keep it simple. Don't get stressed. Let your body see what it's capable of by doing exactly what you should over those first 3 days minimum, if not the first 5 days, so that we can get that first follow-up body comp in without any excuses being, hey, I really wasn't that good, or I really didn't start the challenge, or I really didn't know what I was doing. Let's get set this weekend for success on how you're going to get your Fat Burn approved meals to start eating on Monday, get your body comp done. You're going to get your second body comp done on Friday. If you have to double weigh in, you're weighing in on Wednesday as well. So it's a busy week for you. And that is it. Ask questions, and I look forward to participating with you in class, in body comps, in the challenge, and in results. So I will be speaking to you Monday with your first homework assignment, and I will also be doing a Facebook Live Sunday night and Monday night for you guys to ask me questions as this whole thing kicks off. We are here to support you. We mean that. Thank you very much, and good luck.